Hello everyone, Sarah Winstead here, bikini athlete and coach for Pro Physique. And today I have a highly requested video all about core vacuums. Now, how to do them, how to perform them, and I also wanted to kind of go into some of the science behind core vacuums as well as the impact, positive impact that it has specifically on your posing in this bodybuilding sport. So I'm going to go through some demonstrations and some voiceovers to kind of show you guys how I do them, laying down, leaning forward, and standing up. I would definitely suggest you guys start with the laying down variation. Once you get that down very, very well and can progress up to leaning forward, always a good option. And then of course, the final one, which is probably the hardest, is going to be standing up absolutely straight. And you'll notice I'm going to cue you guys a lot on these things in the voiceovers about how to perform the core vacuum. Now, essentially, in the core vacuum, we are working what's called the transverse abdominis, the TVA. This is the deeper abs. It kind of wraps around your midsection. So because we kind of have the top abs, the six-pack abs that you normally see, but then we have those deeper abs. These are the abs that are also affected when women have children, as far as like re-strengthening those pelvic floor muscles and things like that as well. So this can be very helpful, not just for competitors, but also for people that could be postpartum wanting to re-strengthen that, but obviously defer to your doctor, physical therapist for additional ways to do that. So I'm going to go through the core vacuums, the cueing, how to perform them, and then finally I wanted to kind of touch on the impact that can have on your posing for bikini specifically, because of obviously that's what I'm competing in. The impact that it can have is core bracing in your actual posing. Now, when we are posing, one of my big tips is don't suck in. Because if you're constantly sucking in on your posing, you'll notice you can't hold that for long. You can't just be like constantly like this and I just can't talk or anything like that. Oh God, I'm holding everything in, but I have abs, right? And it's just like you're eventually going to lose that if you're constantly trying to suck in when you're on stage and things like that. Basically, I'd like for you to learn how to brace your abs. That is basically just standing in your posing, allowing your core, basically tightening it, but not to the point where you're sucking in. You're holding it and bracing it and making it that nice tightness that comes from you feeling the TVA, those abs working, that core shaping and definition and things like that, that does come from learning how to do core vacuums, doing them consistently and doing them properly. Now, how often do I suggest doing core vacuums? Well, if you're in improvement season, I would definitely recommend doing them 2 to 3 times a week. When you're in contest prep, I recommend them every single day. Right now, this deep in contest prep, I'm doing about 8 of them every single morning. First thing in the morning, obviously, because you have no food or water in your stomach, it's a lot easier to activate those muscle groups as well as physically see the change that happens to your core in the mirror. So I do about 8. Maybe 10, 15 seconds tops. And I am holding my breath while I'm doing these. It is definitely harder to do shallow breathing while you're doing a vacuum. I haven't really progressed to that yet. But again, see what you can do, see how you can progress. But this is fantastic for that core bracing that you want to have on stage and kind of just making sure, again, everything is nice and tight. And you're seeing the outline of your muscles, but not necessarily trying to like suck in and hold it and hold it and hold it. Oh God, I'm going to have to like pass out from holding your breath up there. No, that's not what I want for you. So we're going to go through the 3 different variations. Bear with me on the videos on this. I try to, get the angles as far as like you guys can see my my physique changing and my core changing in this. It is done in my posing suit because it's Wednesday. I was taking progress photos for my coach, doing my own vacuums in my posing suit. And so you'll definitely see more changes in that than if I was doing it in like a sports bra and shorts or something like that. So you guys enjoyed the video, and then I'll be back to kind of summarize a few things here at the end. All right, here we go with laying down on the floor. This is the easiest variation to start with. Notice my back is flat on the floor, knees are bent, and I'm starting off with 3 diaphragmatic belly breathing breaths. This helps me kind of wake up my TVA and my main core muscles to make sure that I am going to be doing these vacuums appropriately. Basically, essentials for the core vacuum are going to be to exhale all of your air, as I just did there, and then pull the belly button back to the spine and hold it as long as you can. Now you'll notice I do touch my belly button, touch the TVA area. Touch can very much help with that mind muscle connection and make sure you're activating the right things. I hold for about 10 seconds or so, give myself a quick break, and then I go through it again. You'll see multiple repetitions of this. Again, the best cue that I can possibly give you is pulling that belly button back to the spine as you do this and making sure that you are keeping that spine neutral. Notice my low back is not lifting off the floor. And then, of course, I also tend to touch that area as well just to make sure that I am getting the correct mind muscle connection and the hold. It's not a sucking in, it's a drawing in of that navel. I am holding my breath. I can't really do these with breathing. You can definitely challenge yourself. If that's your forte, certainly go for it. And then I'll give myself a few seconds of a break, exhale, and then as all my air is gone, then that is when I start drawing in the belly button back to the spine. You'll notice you do see, everything kind of vacuuming inward. You'll see this even more so when I do them leaning forward and then standing up straight. Forward lean, great advancement for the vacuum exercise. Now you saw me demonstrate how far forward I'm going to be leaning against my bathroom counter. My spine is still neutral. I'm not letting my butt come outward, butt tucking or anything like that. And you can definitely see that these are a little bit harder to hold, let all the air out, but you can still see that my main direction is I'm pulling that belly button back to the spine, but I'm not letting my hips or my butt do anything wonky here. I'm still holding for that 10 seconds. It's a great progression. Then I'll stand back up, give myself a quick break, and then go into the next movement. Now again, we're not sucking in, we're drawing in the navel. I'm literally trying to do it while I'm talking to you guys and drawing that belly button back to the spine. This is fantastic for that core work. And don't be afraid to let all of the air out. Sometimes we're constantly sucking in, holding that belly button in, want to keep that waistline as small as possible. It's very important to let all of your air out. And again, I progressed from laying down to doing this one leaning forward. All right, here we go with the standing up straight variation of the stomach vacuum. After you've mastered laying down, leaning forward, try it standing up straight. Inhale, exhale all your air out. At the bottom of the exhale, draw the navel back to the spine. I'll stand to the side here so you can see the difference, but you'll notice my spine is neutral. I'm standing up straight. This is the toughest thing to do. Still holding for about 8 to 10 seconds. And then letting it out and going through this a few more times, standing up nice and straight. This is going to be fantastic for, again, that core control on stage because we're not sucking in when we're posing. We are bracing our abs. This teaches you to brace your abs, feel that TVA working, and really help with that core control on stage. I'm still tapping the ab every so often to make sure, again, that mind-muscle connection stays strong. I tap my low back to make sure that I'm standing up nice and straight and that nothing is going wonky with my physique in this sort of exercise. It is very tough. I've worked on these in improvement season. I've worked on these throughout my contest prep, and I'm still working on perfecting them because I can still get better at this to further improve my core control on stage. Because as you notice, I don't have the biggest waistline in the world. And so I need things like stomach vacuums, core control, and posing to accentuate the features that I do have and make my waistline appear as small as I possibly can. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that breakdown of core vacuums. If you have friends that need to see this video, please share it with others, spread it around. I'm obviously gonna be sending this to all of my clients because all of my clients need to be doing core vacuums at least a couple of times a week, depending upon their season. So I hope you guys found it helpful. Like, comment, subscribe, all the wonderful things below. And of course, if you have a video request of me in the future, please do let me know. You guys have a great day.